Hey, this is Zach from Freelancing. So today we're going to talk about the advantage of positioning yourself as an individual rather than as some big faceless business. I notice a lot of freelancers, especially newer ones, often feel like they need to pretend that they're bigger than they are. When in truth, most clients are looking to work with individuals. So for today's video, I'm going to snapshot from present day Zach into yesterday Zach with a snippet from our DYF Accelerator community where we talked about this exact thing, and Matt had some really great questions and we explored it together. So I'll cut to that. And if you want to join yourself, it's at dyf.link/DYFA. What I noticed for myself is that even when I was running an agency, or maybe even especially when I was running an agency, people really wanted to work with me personally. And I think that for anyone here who's going to be doing content marketing or building a funnel or something that's like education driven, you're building a personal relationship with your audience who then becomes your client. And I think at this point, we all crave connection and we all crave like authenticity and directness. And I see it as a huge squandered opportunity to position yourself unnecessarily as a we. And I think that the caveat here is if you plan to exit your business or something, or you plan to remove yourself entirely from the process, then it can be strategically wise to not have yourself involved. But if you're just a solo freelancer, in my opinion, there's no reason to position yourself as a we when you're not. And if you're an agency who's doing content marketing, I think that having yourself as the point of contact for like that first strategy call or the pre-sales kind of stage is a really fantastic way to build more of a relationship, because people form relationships with people, not companies. And I even heard a stat recently that for email subject lines, if you have the from coming from a person's name, so like Zach at DYF versus Freelancing, it gets more opens and engagement and stuff like that, because we all want to hear from people. Yeah, so that's all for that point. Anybody have anything to add or share or counterpoints on this one? Any experiences? Because I know, for example, Kim is Kimpact, whereas Sasha is, I gotta go look up Sasha's business name, but it was harder to remember than Kimpact. So I'd be interested to hear both of your guys' takes. Kim is very much on the personal branded side. Sasha's very much on the agency side.
Yeah, I'm very personal. I think people know my name better than Kimpact. I totally agree on you. Like everything's with me, which has a downside as well, of course. But there's no second Kim.
And Sasha, what's been your experience, your take on this as someone who is, I don't think your face is so much a part of the agency, right?
I'm big about relating, and I feel like if I would say it will be like hiding behind the agency, and I think that everything is on personal responsibility, whoever is communicating. So I really agree. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Anybody else have anything they want to add?
I have a question then. So like, what do you do? Like, so the problem I got is like, they want me to do everything. I kind of have to as well without being forefront about, like, I can't just hand off the work because VPN access is like required for all of my clients, and like you have to be using their computer and things like that. So like, how do you move from like it being you to like you giving the work to somebody else?
So what I did in my agency back in the day, and because I did a bad job of being able to be an agency, because other than a couple of experiments with agency brands, like I was doing this service offering called Online in a Day for a while, where I'd like work live, knock out a website in a day kind of thing. And I had onlineinaday.com, but I only occasionally used it. Most of my leads came through my just zachswinehart.com site. Like I never made an agency name, and it's always just my personal name. So it was obviously in that case, like really, really hard to get myself distanced from the fact that Zach Swinehart's doing the thing because it's at zachswinehart.com. But what I did is, as a part of my kickoff call / road mapping / whatever you'd call it, where we're going over like the phases of the project, and I'd be explaining, all right, so first we do strategy, then we're going to do design, copy, development. In that stage, I would say, so we're doing the strategy, you and I right now, and then let me think of how I massaged the wording. Basically, like, you'll be working with Leo on design, and then you'll be working with Gina on the development. And then throughout the process, I'll be like checking in and helping it stay on track. And I'll always be here for strategic feedback. So the angles that I kind of came at it from was like, number one, if it's not me, it is another person, and I'm saying their name and they're going to develop a relationship with this person. And then number two, letting them know that I will be present throughout the process and I'll be doing the sign off. But I'm not actually doing the dev or actually doing the design. Like, it worked well. I mean, people were always a little bit disappointed, I guess, but I think that's just kind of how it goes, because it won't always be you if you're trying to scale an agency.
And what about existing clients? Were you able to do that with them, or did you kind of just have to go towards new ones?
I was, yeah. I think, I'm trying to think of someone who I did it with. Yeah, I did do it with one, and actually it was quite streamlined. Like, there was one client who I've been working with for ever, and I transitioned them to having Gina doing their little updates and stuff. And I think it was just they reached out for some update, and I was like, awesome, we'll sort you out. FYI, my developer Gina is going to be handling this one, so she's CC'd here. You guys will chat on Slack or whatever we did as the working style. And she's working closely with me, so if you have any questions, you can reach out to me, or if she's confused on anything, she's going to reach out to me too. I think that's usually how I would frame it. And I don't think I ever lost a client over it. I don't think I ever even lost a prospect. And I don't think I ever even got pushback. I think it was just generally smooth. But I mean, the main thing that is most important is that your clients shouldn't see like a drop off in end result work quality from working with you. Like, I'm comfortable with the fact that my clients won't get as many inappropriate jokes as a consequence of not working with me and working with a staff member. But as long as the actual work is just as good, I think that's the main thing. Has anybody, like, Kim, are you soloist, or do you have like an agency?
No, I'm solo, and I made a strength out of it. So my face is like everywhere, because in the end, it's me they want to work with. It's not, I mean, anyone can help with services. So yeah, I do a lot of video, and they choose me. So I think that's the point for a lot of solopreneurs, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's kind of like, imagine that you hired Brennan to configure a funnel for you or something. And he was running some funnel configuring agency. Like, yeah, it'd be nice to have Brennan configure the whole funnel. But I think, so another business nugget, I guess this is a good segue. And then Matt, if you have follow-up questions, I'll answer them. Something that is like a random little nugget is, if you have to take something away from a client, or you have to do something that is like not good news, you know, you're not saying, hey, I've come to you today to give you all this free new stuff. If you're like raising prices, or you're offloading responsibility to a staff member when they're working with you, or you are needing to reduce your hours, or just anything that's not good news, I think it's a really helpful exercise to find out how to frame that as a benefit to the client. And if the raw facts alone are not substantial enough to frame it as a benefit without just lying, then do something about it, like do something a little bit differently so that it can legitimately be framed as a benefit. And so in this example, to Matt's point, like, the easy way to reframe something like this as a benefit is, gosh, Zach, as a soloist, I've loved working with all these clients directly, but there's just too much on my plate and I'm way too scattered. And I've been noticing that I sometimes have little things fall through the cracks, or I can't give each project the attention that it deserves. And so that's why you're going to be working with Gina, because Gina's whole job is just to make sure that she sorts out your website. And so I'm able to pull back and do some of the more strategic stuff. So if you do that, I think every client would receive it well, because the logic is sound. That's my thought. Matt, what do you think?
Yeah, that makes sense. I just kind of got to do it.
Yeah. So what's a project you're wanting to do it on? Like, are you wanting to do it now, or you're just asking for later?
I could do it now and then spend more time on the business. It'd probably have to be on my longer client. I've had for like 5 years. It's just getting more and more meetings with them. And it's just like, would like to have someone that just is able to focus with them. It's coming less time I can actually implement for them and more time just talking.
Do you have a resource already in your tool, like a person?
No, I would have to find that as well.
Okay. Well, yeah, it might be worth putting up feelers for and stuff. But I think if it were me, the main thing that I always have as my my guiding principle thing is just make sure that the work quality doesn't suffer, and if it doesn't, you can massage it in the right direction. So maybe when you're hiring, like just make sure someone is going to do as good of a job as you, and that you train them properly and stuff. And then when you first start to put staff members on projects, have it be very hedged. Like, don't just turn your whole 5-year long client onto this new person. Probably do the interception yourself. Like, do the project management yourself, do the client interactions yourself, but have this other person doing the work and still kind of being the go-between. And then get this person more comfortable with the actual talking. Like, that's actually how it went with my developer, Gina. I think at first she was kind of silently building the websites, and I was letting people know that Gina was working on it, but they were still going through me, and I was like the project manager and stuff. But then over time, I kind of got her a little bit more comfortable talking with the clients and transition. So that would be my only thought for you as you explore this. So there you have it. If you think you'd benefit from some accountability and masterminding like what you saw here, but better, I'd love to have you in the community. You can email me directly if you have any questions about it at hello@wfreelancing.com. Otherwise, I'd love to have you join. The link is dyf.link/dyfa. See you in there.